name is Jessica. Please like and subscribe if you've never been to my channel. Basically, I talk about my journey, my transition. Sometimes I talk about politics or other things that's going on. I talk a lot about my experience. I am 8 months on HRT and I've been out for about a year. I decided a year ago to move forward. So, okay, let me give you an update on my actual transition. Sorry. Last time I did a video like this, somebody was like, "Do you always sit there with your legs open?" And I was like, you know, I hate to say it. It's really hard for me to cross my legs. And it's not for the reasons that you think. I'm just short and kind of bold-legged, and I think that it's just really hard for me. So a lot of times when I'm in public, I'll just sit with my legs like pushed together, and I'm just like, I try not to forget, But I look around, and a lot of women sit with their legs open, but whatever. Okay, so 8 months HRT. I am currently taking 7 milligrams of estradiol, and 6 milligrams are in pill form, and then I also take a patch. I have it on my boob. I take 300 milligrams of spirulactin. Maybe I'm saying it wrong, but it's like the testosterone blocker. And then I also take a second testosterone blocker called finasteride, and I only take 1 milligram a day of that. It's actually like another use that it's for male pattern baldness. So I asked the pharmacist, I was like, is this going to make like hair grow just on my head? Or is it going to like make hair grow all over my body? Because body hair is like terrible to deal with. I'm lucky that I only really get it on my legs and my arms. Not, the other place too. But I don't get it on my back or my chest or anything. So I'm really lucky for that. I've had 7 laser hair removal treatments. I started practicing my makeup about a year ago. I think that recently I've gotten okay at my makeup, and I also used to use the orange color corrector. I have a couple of videos of how to do that, how to hide the beard shadow. Probably, there's lots of videos online on YouTube of trans women showing you how to hide the beard shadow, but I do have a couple. I'm pretty good at it. I don't use the hard orange anymore. Now I use peach. So there's that. Other things about my transition is I recently got approval for a breast augmentation. Now, even though my insurance company, which is Blue Cross Blue Shield, is going to, they're going to partially pay for it. That means that I still have to pay $3,000 out of pocket. And then also I have a small business, so I would have to take a month off from work. So I need like $5,000 to cover my expenses. So I would have to come up with $8,000. I don't know if that's realistic right now. I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to do that. So that's everything going on with my transition. If you look at my channel, I've made probably like 10 or so YouTube videos. Some of them are kind of long and various quality. So a while ago in February, when I decided that I wanted to start doing these sort of things, my goal was to become like a YouTuber. And then I was just doing Instagram and TikTok like for fun. And then like I had this one video that went semi-viral. So I got like 9,000 followers on Instagram and 4,000 on TikTok. So like I started really pouring a lot of my attention into that. Anyways, I started kind of like ignoring, or I stopped putting time into the long form content, and I've decided I'm not going to do that anymore. Like I actually really love Instagram, but I want to make long form content, and I'm not sure exactly what I want to talk about. I don't know if I only want to try to keep it positive about like inspirational things, because I do a lot of spiritual stuff. I meditate. I'm in recovery, so I do a lot of self-improvement. I exercise a lot. I know you can't tell because I'm like super chubby right now, but this is a padded bra. My size is 36B, but I have a little bit of padding on my bra and it looks great. I really like it, but it's not all that. But anyways, so since my transition, I actually gained 20 pounds. So recently I started running and working out again a lot. I'm not going to work out my arms and my chest, but I am going to work out my legs and my butt, and I'm going to do lots of cardio and try to get back in shape. I mean, I'm not out of shape. I also have a construction company, so I'm always doing physical stuff. Anyways, I don't know if I wanted to talk about politics. I used to really care about politics, but the truth is, like, I've been indoctrinated by the left and then indoctrinated by the right. And right now, I really beat myself up for falling victim to so much propaganda. And I really can't stand either one of the political parties, especially the Republicans, though, obviously, because both parties are terrible, but like the Republicans seem so hateful right now. I really can't stand what's happening to immigrant communities and like the Israel Palestine thing. You can't even talk about it, but it is just terrible. It's just terrible. Speaking of which, when I was indoctrinated by the right, one of my favorite trans influencers was Blair White. I think she's pretty atrocious now. I can't really stand her. She's always picking the most problematic, controversial, maybe possibly transgender person, and she just relentlessly hammers about how terrible trans people are, and specifically the ones that have different ideologies than her. She's really against queer TikTokers. She's a very Christian, which is fine. I have a lot of followers that I have friends in real life that are Christians too. I used to be Christian. I got no problem with that. However, when an ideology or a belief system attacks trans people, especially very vulnerable trans people, and they use these belief systems to try to create legislation and take away trans rights or LGBT rights or queer people's rights or minority rights, anybody's rights, then I kind of have a problem with these belief systems. That being said, I have a lot of friends who are religious, and they're great. They're very kind. I love them dearly. So I'm not against all religions or any religions, really. I'm not against any religions. What else? So I kind of skipped from my transition. Okay, so I'm on HRT. I'm exploring surgeries. I've had 7 laser hair removal treatments. I get my eyebrows done, and I'm working out. I only dress like a woman. I don't dress like a man anymore. I mean, this is a t-shirt, but it's actually, I got it from the women's section. I wear a lot of dresses. If you follow me on social media, you see that I really like dresses and skirts. So I'm very fortunate because I'm 5'2" and only like 145 pounds. I used to be 129. But anyways, I pass pretty well. In fact, I pass all the time. It was very easy for me. And I'm only saying that because it was actually kind of hard for me to believe it. Like, I'm not comfortable. I'm sorry. But yeah, so I pass. In the beginning, I didn't pass. And even when I passed, I didn't believe it. And I had a lot of fear. In fact, I was always scared. Every step of the way, I was scared. I just would just keep pushing through. Like, in the beginning, wearing women's clothes was terrifying to me. Asking people to use my name, Jessica, was terrifying for me. Then actually, when I was still kind of in boy mode for work, wearing boys clothes and anybody seeing me in boys clothes was terrifying. Coming out to my clients was terrifying. Family members, the whole thing, it was all terrifying. But now it's weird because I'm not scared of it at all. In fact, one of the only things that scares me as far as that has anything to do with transitioning is possibly laws that would be created to stop people like me from transitioning. That kind of scares me, but I think I could accept worst case scenario, I'm still trans. I'm still a woman, and I'm gonna move forward no matter what. Oh, I get my nails done too. This is another part of my transition. I used to hate my hands. My hands and my beard shadow would give me such bad gender dysphoria, but now I really love my hands. So there's that. This video is going to be so all over the place. I think that I'm just trying to put this out here so I can get the ball rolling again. I need to determine what kind of content I want to make. I would like maybe to do commentary video, not always political. So my politics are pretty far left, and I love having friends and followers that don't agree with me. So I don't want to. So I don't want to alienate certain people. It's complicated. If I thought that I could make a real difference with politics, then I would just say so be it. However, I might be able to make a better difference by just being like I don't know how to say it. Like talking about down to earth real life stuff like friendship or self-love or overcoming obstacles or maybe a second chance at a dream that you might have or that I might have, like because of the adversity I've been through. Not only am I trans, but I also have been in recovery. I am in recovery, and I have a disabled son. I've built my life up, and I've torn it down a few times. So I'm on this whole like never give up sort of thing, because I'm a mess. Like I have a business and I take care of my family, but I'm always struggling with money. Um, there's nothing in the bank. I don't own my house, but I have a college degree, and um, I'm pretty healthy. I'm very honest as far as I don't have any secrets. Since I came out as trans, I don't have any secrets anymore. That was like the big thing. That was how it was my secret. So anyways, I have a lot of stuff going on for me, and I have a lot of stuff I need to improve. I'm not anywhere close to realizing my dreams. Not even close to owning a house or retiring. So these are all things I need to work on. And I'm not sure exactly what this channel should be about. If you have any ideas, like if you actually watch this whole video, which I really hope you do, like and subscribe. But also, I need to know what kind of content would you like to see? I'm really lost in trying to decide what I want this content to be about. I was thinking about maybe just like looking up things on my phone, like maybe not being political, but just read the news to you, like the most important things, right? Okay, one thing that I know is that there was a deep sea hurricane. No, it was a deep sea earthquake, and it caused a tsunami. By the time the tsunami got to the United States, it was only 6 foot tall, but there was a volcano that was triggered in Russia, and I hear this volcano is really bad, right? So that's one news thing. What else is going on? Oh, if you care at all about immigrants, the news is terrible. It's just very terrible. There's this alligator Alcatraz thing, and from what I see, it looks like a concentration camp, and I don't know. But I don't know enough about it. So what I could do is try to learn about these things and just unbiasedly read them to you. That could be one thing that we could do with this channel. Of course, a certain amount of people just want to hear about my transition, which is fine. I love talking about it. I think that's more about like what my Instagram's about. I don't know. I don't want to follow the trends and do what everybody else is doing. In fact, when everybody was talking about Lily Tino, I like refused to talk about it. I was just and I've seen so many people getting like hundreds and thousands of followers from talking about Lily Tino, and I don't want to be like a follower like that. I want my content to be original. I'm pretty good at talking. I just have to know what to talk about. And I used to really want to get into politics. The thing about politics, that's my son's alarm. The thing about and the snoring is my dog. So the thing about politics is that it makes me extremely unhappy when I get into these political debates and political fights and things like that. It literally like crushes my soul. So I don't know if I want to do that. Um, I've explained a few things about my sexuality, about my transition, about me growing up and struggling with substance abuse and things like that. I could I could exp- I was thinking about making this video about indoctrination, and you know, using ContraPoints, which is a liberal trans woman influencer, and also Blair White, which is a conservative liberal, no, a conservative trans woman influencer, and kind of like comparing their two journeys because there's these weird parallels between the two of them, and kind of explore propaganda and indoctrination through the lens of these two women. And up until very recently, I absolutely loved ContraPoints. I was really disappointed in her Israel Palestine stance. So she's like liberal in all things except, protecting the Palestinians, which is just terrible. Like, it's you just can't ignore it because when you see all the pictures of all the children that are starving to death and they're like these terrible pictures you used to see in the 90s of things that would happen in these other countries with, you know, 5 cents a day could save this child and the child's all his bones. Well, like that's the whole country. That's all the children over there. They're all starving to death. Their bodies are eating themselves, and if we talk about it, we run the risk of being like banned or shadow banned or somebody saying we're anti-Semitic. Like, it has nothing to do with being like nobody's anti-Semitic for caring about children and women and like just like innocent people who are being like ruthlessly blown to bits for 2 years. And you're allowed to feel bad for the Palestinians and also recognize that what happened to Israel was also terrible, and as a whole, that Jewish people have had like maybe, I don't know if it's the most amount of discrimination, but they're up there with Africans and with Native Americans. Like, these groups, they've experienced a lot of hateful discrimination, and but one bad thing doesn't make another bad thing okay. But anyways, it's almost impossible to talk about it without pissing people off. It sucks really bad. Like, I'll really like somebody, like in real life or online, and then like I'll find out their stance on Israel Palestine. I'm just like, oh God, you're really. I think as time goes by, because you can see now, even conservatives, even the president Donald Trump said that it was terrible. Like Pierce Morgan is really on the side of Palestine. I mean, the tide is really turning, and once the real numbers come out, because Israel won't allow any news into Palestine or to come out of Palestine, um, I think it's going to be recorded in history as a very terrible thing, and all these people are going to be on record supporting it, and I think it's really going to haunt people for a long time. I just hope it ends soon. So, anyways, I'm sorry. I try not to be political, but I can't stop talking about Israel Palestine. I love you. Please like and subscribe, and leave a comment and tell me what do you want to hear. Like, do you like my content? What do I need to improve? What should I do better? What should things be about? And I love you. Bye.